Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering Write a Book About My Life. The person that you want to work with is technically called a ghostwriter, and working with a great ghostwriter can help you bring out the strongest version of your story. By the end of this video, you will learn how to collaborate with a ghostwriter, how to follow your gut, and all the ways in which a great partnership can help you in your journey forward. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a free opportunity I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. So you want to write your book, but you need a little help. That's where people like me come in. I'm a book ghostwriter. I've been doing that for more than 6 years now, and I've helped more than 30 authors to finish their books. It's such a special thing to work with an author and help them carry their message forward and unlock the power of their story. I typically meet weekly with my clients, the authors I work with, and we will go back and forth and talk through different areas of the book. And I can see their emotions changing, their mood changing. I can see the heaviness lifting. You know, they feel empowered. They can see it all coming together. And through that process, you know, the author and I are helping to connect the dots on their story. You know, what resonates about their message? What makes their story unique? What makes it stand out? It's so empowering when you can see that happen week to week to week. I think about a friend of mine, Emma, and I've been working with Emma for about half a year now. And it's been such an empowering process to see her take these steps in her life. You know, facing the challenges, facing the struggles and overcoming them. I'm doing the writing, but she's doing the hard work to, you know, to be vulnerable and be open and unflinchingly real about her story. And it's just such a special process to see it all coming together, you know, and see the power of her story being unlocked. When you think about writing a book about your life, it's not just about your life, it's something else. What is the thing? What is that special, unique thing that only you can say? How are the pieces of your life, how are the things that you've encountered helping you get to this next level? And how can you help the reader understand how to get to that level themselves? Because the challenges that you faced are probably similar to the challenges that your reader have faced. And you want to think about how your story is going to connect to them. What are they going to care about? What are they going to be drawn in by? All of the lessons and ideas of your story aren't all going to fit in your book. You know, there's going to be things that happened when you were a kid or a teenager or even into adulthood that don't have anything to do with the book itself. You know, this bad encounter you had, this fight you got into when you were in 5th grade, is that really relevant to the message that you're sharing about your whole life? Maybe it is and maybe it isn't. So you really have to figure out how your story connects and how it relates, and think about the reader and what they're going to take away from it. This isn't just about placating the reader or, you know, making yourself look better to the reader's eyes. This is about writing the book that's going to help them, writing the book that's going to, you know, help them carry something forward in their own life. It's really important to tap into your story, and a ghostwriter can help you do that. The book writing process is a challenge. It's really hard. It's hard for people like me who've done it, who've, you know, published books, been successful at it, and seen that pattern repeat. It's tough enough for me. So for a first-time author who doesn't have a lot of experience writing a book, it can be overwhelming. There's so many different things to think about. The publishing path, you know, what you want to say, you know, what's the reader takeaway? What's the hook? How do you outline the book? You know, I help the authors I work with to figure things out. You know, what does the outline look like? What's the reader takeaway? What's the most important message? You know, how do we carry that forward? You know, what belongs and doesn't belong in the book? You know, all these different things we work through and we talk through. And it's a collaborative process. I think a lot of times when people think about book ghostwriters, they think about somebody just going off and writing a book on their own. That's not the way I operate, and that's not the way a lot of book ghostwriters operate. When I work with somebody, we typically meet once a week, and at the starting point, we focus on the foundation of the book and figuring things out. And what's the outline? What's the structure? And then from there, we talk through every single chapter, every single story. And I take the stories that they're telling me and turn them into chapters, turn them into draft text that they can then review and give feedback on. You know, oh, this sounds great. You know, we have to tell this one story we're missing. You know, I wouldn't say it this way. You know, on second thought, I want to remove this one story that is difficult or heavy. Whatever the case may be, it's that collaborative give and take. It's the back and forth. And that's what makes the ghostwriter-author relationship so powerful. It's that it's built on trust. Working with a ghostwriter, you're an active participant. The author is an active participant in this process. If you're not an active participant, you're not going to get the book that you need and you want. You're going to be stuck with a book that somebody else thinks is a good book, but it might not be reflective of you. There's so many things that can go wrong with the process of working with a ghostwriter, and so many little red flags that we overlook, over time. Because this process is built on trust, it really requires you to follow your gut as the author. If something doesn't feel right, voice it, think about it, lean into it. A lot of times when I'm talking to prospective authors who are thinking of working with me or thinking of working with a ghostwriter, I tell them to talk to the person, have a conversation, see how it feels to talk back and forth, see what this person is like over email. What is the sense you get from your gut? What's your gut instinct? If you have an uneasiness, if there's something that doesn't feel right to you, don't move forward. If you get a piece of text from your ghostwriter that doesn't feel right to you, it's good to bring it up and challenge it. Hey, I just didn't feel right about this chapter. I'd love to talk it through. Something didn't sit right with me. Something's missing. Being able to lean into those feelings, the doubts, can help you move forward with confidence in this process. If you don't feel confident enough to bring this up to the ghostwriter and say, I didn't think this chapter was as strong as possible, you're liable to keep feeling that way as every chapter goes on. And I've seen this happen with projects. The author will say, it's great, it's great, it's great, it's great, every single chapter. And then the draft is done. And then they start to review it and say, you know what, they didn't feel great about this. This isn't as strong as it could be. So now we have to go back and fix it. That's not to say that those gut check moments aren't important to lean into, but it's to say that bring it up as soon as you can, because if you do, it's going to save you a lot of time and effort and energy. It's going to make things so much simpler if you can nip this in the bud right away and say, we need to fix this in chapter 2 rather than at the end of the draft and now we have to fix all the other chapters. This is a relationship that's built on trust, and within that trust, you should feel comfortable being able to open up about any of the fears and concerns you have, because overcoming those fears and concerns are going to help you write and publish the best book possible. If you can't overcome those fears and concerns, you might never finish the book. You might never feel confident in the book. You might never believe in it. You might never want to continue forward. So you really need to address those things, because addressing them can help you move forward in confidence. Ultimately, a book is not just a book. A book is an opportunity. A book is the step, the next step. A book is the door that's going to open for you. I want you to think about what your dream looks like. What do you want to accomplish from this book? It could be as simple as passing down something to your relatives and saying, here's your family's history. It could be something about revenue. Maybe you want to drive revenue and leads and opportunities to your business. Maybe you want to just say that you accomplished this goal of publishing a book. Whatever the case may be, I want you to really understand what your dreams look like and figure out how your book connects to those dreams. And being able to talk about that with your ghostwriter, being able to understand how your ghostwriter can help you get to that next step, it's such a valuable thing. Being able to unlock all those pieces, being able to unlock the power of your story can help you take this to new places. But you need to understand how the book connects to it. You need to understand how to unlock all these pieces, and ultimately also understand how the ghostwriter can help get you there. But this is an awesome relationship. It's such a powerful relationship, and it's one that's built on trust and understanding and respect. Being able to carry it forward could help you unlock your book in new ways. So be open to it, but follow your gut. If you want to learn more about Write a Book About My Life, I'd love for you to check out my website. It's goodghostwriter.com. You can click the link below. There you can schedule a one-on-one strategy call with me. I would love to talk to you about your book. I'd love to hear about the challenges you're facing, the opportunities, what your dreams are for your book, and potentially how I could help you, provide insight, guidance, or even work together. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.